Here we are on episode 3, moving right along. We're going to move to some small ruins. These are made on some cardboard bases. Two different styles, made out of two different materials, and we'll cover both in this video. These were great as small ruins in the woods or a small village, and I would suggest making several of them at once. So here you go. This is with a cardboard base, and this is where we'll go over what to do with how to make a cardboard base. Get some sturdy cardboard, and then I use masking tape to cover the side of the cardboard that we're going to be making the train on. And this is so that the moisture from the glue and the paint does not end up warping the piece of cardboard significantly. The moisture in those items warp both cardboard and hardboard. Hardboard holds up a little better. With cardboard, you just put out the tape and then you're going to arrange your ruin pieces on there. I'm going to start with cardboard pieces as your ruins, and you just take a piece of cardboard, start laying out your ruins. So we'll mark it with a marker. Now, when I cut this out, I mark some windows in there. When I cut this out, you could cut this out all the way in half, which I don't do here, and then just use the opposite side for your other corner to make your corner. I did not do that here. I'll do it in a future video when I talk about other ruins, larger buildings. But here you continue to lay out your building the way that you want it. Any way that you do it is fine. The point is to make it look like a ruined building. Now I'm cutting out the windows with an X-Acto knife. Do this carefully, of course. I'm going to kind of line them up, get some other pieces ready, and then it's time for glue. Now you glue these pieces directly to, I make a little mistake here, put the wrong wall in the wrong spot. That wall should go there. And you can be liberal with the glue. Now we have the corner and the wall that's kind of in the middle there. I did a couple small little bits there and there. And that's it. Now here's another kind, using a different material. Another base, all taped up and ready to go. Now I'm going to use styrofoam. And this is the pink building foam that you can find. I use this for a different project, so I have a lot of scrap. Now I cut this in half diagonally using an X-Acto knife. It doesn't cut all the way through because it's a pretty thick piece, but I just break it. It breaks very easily. Now I start to cut out some windows. Just something that represents the remains of a window. And this stuff's a little thicker, so you have to work with it a little bit more. Now I'm starting to make battle damage on it. These are little gunshot spots. Also make some cracks in it. Speed right through this. Yeah, just mark it up and make it look like it's been there for a long time, had a lot of damage done to it. Here's another crack. Chip away at it. Now I'm going to lay these out on the base. When I lay these out, one is a little bit too long, so I'm going to go back, and on the edges of each, I'm going to straighten out these edges. Now if you start with a straighter edge than I do, then you don't have to do this step, but I'm using a lot of scrap pieces, so they're not in the best condition. Line them up, glue them on. And I have a couple other pieces, just scrap pieces I found, whatever worked. And attach another piece there. And just a little piece of stone over here. There you have your 2 pieces. That was really quick. I would just, pop out as many of these as you want all at once because they're so easy and quick to make. Now when I use the cardboard, I take masking tape and I go over, I tape the edges of the corners so that there's not that corrugated part of the cardboard showing, and I actually do it around all the walls and the windows. As you can see here, I'm taping it up. Now the tape will be covered in the end by, you won't be able to see it once I paint it, because I paint it with paint and sand. And you'll see that technique in a few minutes. Actually, in part 2 of this video, we'll go over the painting. So once it's all taped up, so all the edges are taped so you don't have that corrugated stuff showing, so it looks like it was a solid piece of wall. Now using some white glue, I go along the corners that are near the wall once it's all dried and stuck on there well. And I take my glue paintbrush, spread it out a little bit. I'm going to dump some sand and rubble on here. Here's our box. Just dump some of the rubble on there and dump it out. You can see it leaves little bits of rubble there. I go along the edges on the outside. Anywhere there's an edge, spread it out a little bit. And just throw some sand up on there. Flock, whatever you're using. I'll do it with the other piece of terrain, the styrofoam one. I also tape the corner of that so that there's not that big hole there. That doesn't look very natural, so I just cover that up. It doesn't have to be perfect because it is a ruin, but it gives it a little bit. It doesn't make it look like it's just 2 pieces of styrofoam clipped together. Once you're done here, you're going to also use the glue again. I started with the paintbrush and realized it's so much easier to use the bottle. Put it in the edges here, in the corners. So you go around and then glue in all the corners. And I use the paintbrush to spread it out, just like on the other one. Put some glue around the floor in the middle. Dump the sand on, and the rubble. Dump it off, and there you have it. That's into part 1. Subscribe to see future episodes of Terrain Cave. If you like this video, please click on like so we continue to make more. And leave comments and feedback. We much appreciate it. And look down below in the description for the link to part 2. Thank you.